I'm back with another sewing tutorial, and this time we're going to work on layering for fall. The Joyful Jacket Set is available on the site and includes pieces and written instructions for both a jacket and layering tank top. So grab the pattern and some fabric and sew it up with me today. As per usual, we start with cutting the pieces. After cutting the tank, you should have a back and a front piece, a neckband, and 2 arm bands. As always, don't forget to cut out the notches. For the jacket, you will have 2 mirrored A pieces with both main fabric and lining, 2 sets of B pieces, main and lining, and 1 C piece in main and lining. Then you'll need 2 sleeve main and lining and 2 lapel pieces. Remember to cut those notches too. We're going to start construction with the tank top. First, place the front and back pieces right sides together and sew along the side edges and both shoulder edges. I'm using a serger here, but you can definitely use a regular sewing machine too. Now let's work on the armbands. Take 1 armband and fold it wrong sides together along the long edge and press it. This will create a crease. Now open up the band and fold 1 edge wrong sides together so the raw edge meets the crease. You'll do the same thing on the other side and you'll press that too. That will leave you with 3 creases to use as a guide when you're sewing the bands up. Now fold the band in half right sides together and sew along the short edge. Place the band around 1 arm opening with the right side of the band facing the wrong side of the tank top. Make sure the seam on the band is at the side seam of the tank. Line up the side edges of the band with the notches on the arm opening, and the center notch on the band is at the shoulder seam. Now sew all the way around the band, sewing along the crease closest to the raw edge. Turn the tank right side out and flip the band out. It should look like this. Fold back the unsewn edge of the band along the crease, so now the edge of the band and the edge of the seam allowance meet at the center crease. Then fold the outer side over again to cover up the seam allowance and enclose all the raw edges. Then you just have to sew as close as you can to that edge. This is what it should look like when you're done. Then you'll do the same thing on the other side with the other armband. Repeat all the crease steps with the neckband and then fold it right sides together and sew that short edge too. Now place the neckband along the neck opening, right side of the band facing the wrong side of the tank again. Make sure the seam on the band is at the notch on the back neckline, the center notch on the band is at the notch on the front neckline, and the last 2 notches on the band are at the notches close to the shoulder seams. Then sew all the way around the neck using the inner crease as the seam allowance again. Finish the neckband the exact same way as the armbands and it should look like this. Now we just have to hem. To hem the tank, fold back the bottom edge 1/2 inch towards the wrong side and then fold it back another 1/2 inch. And then sew as close as you can to that top fold. You probably want to do a zigzag or stretch stitch so that the hem can stretch when you wear it. The tank top is finished. Now onto the jacket. Let's sew the front first. Lay out the A pieces right sides up and then place 2 B pieces right sides together with the A pieces and sew along those slightly curved edges. And then do the same with the lining. You can choose to top stitch or not. Top stitching isn't a requirement or absolutely necessary, but it does give it a little bit more professional and finished look. Moving on to the back of the jacket. Lay out the C piece right side up. Then place the remaining 2 B pieces right sides together on either side of the C piece and sew along the curved sides. Same with the lining. Again, if you want to top stitch, go for it, but I'm not the boss of you, so feel free to skip it. Now for the side and shoulder seams. Place the front and back pieces right sides together and sew the side edges and both shoulder seams. Also do that with the lining. Now we can add the sleeves. Fold the sleeves in half, right sides together, and sew along the long edge. Repeat this with the lining sleeves. Turn the sleeves right side out so we can slide them inside the jacket. With the jacket still wrong side out, slide the sleeve through the arm opening so the fabric is right sides together. Match up the seam on the sleeve with the side seam, the top notch on the sleeve with the shoulder seam, and the remaining 2 notches on the sleeve with the notches along the arm opening. Then sew all the way around the sleeve. This is what it should look like when you're done. Then just do that again on the other side and repeat all of that with the lining. Now take the 2 lapel pieces and place them right sides together and sew along the curved edge. Now turn it right side out and top stitch the seam. Then baste the bottom edges together. Now we can attach the lapel to the jacket. Place the lapel along the neckline of the main fabric jacket right sides together, starting at the end of the lapel at one notch on the front, continuing up the edge. Place the notches on the lapel at the shoulder seams of the jacket, back down the other side, and the end of the lapel will now be at the other notch on the front. Now baste the lapel to the main fabric jacket. It's finally time to sew the main fabric and lining jackets together. Lay the main fabric jacket right side up and move the sleeves away from the edges to keep them out of the way. Now place the main fabric and lining jackets right sides together, matching up all the notches and seams all the way around. Now sew all the way around the jacket, leaving a 6-inch hole at the back bottom center. Turn the jacket right side out through the 6-inch hole and press the outer seam, and then you'll top stitch under the lapel and all the way around, closing that hole at the back. Now we just have to finish the sleeves. First, slide the lining sleeves inside the main fabric sleeves, wrong sides together. Now fold back both sleeve edges 1 inch towards the wrong side, and then pin the folds together. Just make sure the seams line up. It should look like this, all pinned and clipped together, and then you can sew all the way around the sleeve. Here's what the end of the sleeve will look like finished. Your jacket is now complete. You can add a button and buttonhole just below the lapel if you want, or you can just leave it open. Because of the way we constructed it, this jacket is also fully reversible. Like, how fun is that? Like 2 jackets in one. I absolutely love getting ready for fall weather, so starting to sew jackets and other layering designs has been a breath of fresh air for me this week. I've also been thinking about doing sleeve add-ons to a few of the other TikTok patterns. Let me know what you're wanting to see as the weather cools off. Thanks for watching.